Hey guys, Steve Harris here with MuseThemes.com. Recently, we've been looking into e-commerce options for embedding an entire store into your site. And that's where we came across one called Ecwid. So Ecwid stands for e-commerce widget. And what's unique about this system is it allows you to embed a store into Muse that has full functionality like a shopping cart and the ability to browse various products. It's really quite functional, and we think it's a great option if you're looking to embed a really functional and powerful store right into a Muse site. So the team at Ecwid actually came to us to look at building them an official widget for Muse, and we've built a great pack of 4 widgets to help you integrate an Ecwid site into your Muse site. So let me show you how this all works. I'm on the Ecwid site right now, and we can take a look at some of their pricing. They actually have a free account, so if you have 10 products or less, then it's free. And if you need up to 100 products, then you're looking at about $15 a month, which is a great rate for an e-commerce system like this. So let's go ahead and go into Muse, and I'll show you how this all works. Let's click on our library panel, and in the Muse Themes toolbox, we have the Ecwid e-commerce store, and let's drag that out on the page. Now, when it drops on the page, it's quite a large widget. You can see that there's 4 various parts to this widget that are all kind of simultaneously loading up here. We have, starting in the top left, the search functionality or search bar. In the top right here, we have the shopping bag. Below that, we have our category tabs. And below that, we have the product browser. So with just dragging and dropping that on the page, let me preview this in the browser and I'll show you how it looks. So just like that, we have a store that appears. This is the demo store that Ecwid provides. And you can see that we can click on these various categories to browse to different products. We can select a product to open up the detailed view of that. And we can favorite this, or we could actually add it to the bag. So when we click add to bag, it says it's in the bag. And as up here, you can see in our shopping bag, we have 1 product. So you could go through and add a variety of different products to your shopping bag. Okay, I've added 3 here. Oh, that one's out of stock, so you can set out of stock. So let's try and find one more here. There's one. Okay, so we've got 3 products in the bag. So let's say we're looking for something specific. We could search for it. So let's see if we have something for iPhone. Okay, perfect. We have the iPhone 5. So we want to select the 64 gigabyte model and add it to the bag. And there, now we have 4 items in our shopping bag. So if we click on the shopping bag, you can see everything we have. We can modify those as needed. We can apply a coupon code. And then we can just check out. We can click agree to terms and conditions and check out. And it will actually allow you to integrate various shipping options. So you can have prices quoted right away. Users will place their order, pay right here, and that's it. So as you can see, it is a full e-commerce store directly in Muse. So this is all set up on the Ecwid side of things. Our widget simply integrates the store in. So the easiest way for you to jump to Ecwid is we've included links on all of our widgets here that say open Ecwid dashboard. So if you just click on that, then it'll bring you to the Ecwid site. So let's go ahead and log into my account here and I'll show you how everything works. Okay, so once we've logged into our Ecwid site, you'll see what the back end looks like. Now there's a lot to it and I won't go through every detail in here, but basically there's a few things you need to know about working with an e-commerce system like this. The biggest one that you're going to notice when you land on the site here is your store ID right there. So your store ID is the important number that you need to know because you need to input that store ID into all of the various widgets that we've provided you. So this store ID is 4443228. So let's just copy that. Let's go back to the Muse site, and any of these widgets, when we bring up the flyout panel, the first option is your store ID. So the second you put that in, it's going to link up your store to all of these widgets. So on the Ecwid side of things, you can see that we have just these various options up top, like add products. So you could go through and you can add a number of products to your site. So you can create a demo product. We can add a price. Let's go like this, demo product. We'll add a price of $10 and click save. Then we could go and add more powerful options to that. We can verify and change a whole bunch of settings here. So we've got, of course, a sales tracking page that shows all the sales we've had. We've got a catalogs page where we can view all of our products. We can modify them. So this product, for example, Apple, if we click on it, Within the Apple product page, we've got all these additional tabs for changing up things. So we've got attributes, which might be, the brand or the UPC code. We've got options, which can be the colors of the apples. Or if you're selling t-shirts, this could be the size of the t-shirts. Then we've got a gallery. We can upload as many options or as many photos as we'd like. So you can really do a lot with these products. We've also got categories, and on the categories area here, we can sort products into different categories. So on this demo store, we've got fruit and vegetables as different categories. And one thing you'll notice on our widget is we do have this categories widget included in this package. And what this allows you to do is jump between all of these various categories in your store. So as you can see, when I click on a tab, the various categories come up. So that's kind of how they link into the back end of Ecwid. Let's go ahead, and if we click on the customers page, you can see all the people who have purchased from your store. And then you can add promotions, which would be things like discount codes that users can use. This is on a higher level plan. I'm just on the free plan here, but it's a great system to check out. Another area you'll need to get very familiar with is in the system settings here over on the right. That's where you're going to set things like the name, the contact info of your store. You can change the units, so you can use a variety of currencies. You can also change things like your legal pages and some cart settings. So there's lots that you can do in here, and you're going to want to get very familiar with it. Now, the last thing that I should mention here is that if you click on the design area under system settings, then you have the ability to use custom CSS. And custom CSS means that you can actually really customize the look and feel of this store, but you need a little bit of coding skills to do so. So they've given you some abilities to change things up in a couple of pre-made themes. So there's a beige theme and a red theme, but perhaps I'll do a video later on about how to actually get into the CSS and really start modifying things. There's also a payment tab, which allows you to set up various payment providers. So for example, if you're using credit card, which you're probably going to use for your e-commerce store, then you can choose a payment processor such as PayPal or Stripe. They have PayPal here below, and so that you can have users check out using a variety of options. So as you can see, it's a huge system, and again, I won't go through everything in here, but it's a great option for adding an online store to your site. So now that I've covered kind of how the Ecwid system looks on the back end, let's have a look at all these various widgets. So starting at the top left here, we have a search box widget, which allows you to just input your store ID, and that's the only option you have on this widget. So when you have the search box widget in, it's going to display results in the product browser, which is this area below. So let me preview this in the browser and I'll show you how it looks. So let's search for iPhone, and it's displayed all of the results now in the product browser area. So that's a really simple component to it. We also have the shopping bag. This is a really unique and really nice feature of this store. So of course you go ahead and put your store ID in. I'm just going to put the demo ID back in. Now we have a couple of different options for the shopping cart layout. I'm using the large bag, which is kind of this bigger one, but we also have one called the mini cart. And if you click on mini cart, you can see it's a little bit of a smaller shopping cart, and you can have this up in the top corner or something, and it's a little bit less impactful. Now you also have some various options in here. We could do the large and attach to categories. And what that does is it actually attaches this to this categories widget we have here. So let's preview that in the browser and I'll show you how it looks. So there, now you can see it actually kind of connects it with a line. And this will just always stay visible as long as the categories are visible. We could also select one that's called large and pinned. And if we do that, then we can select a pin placement. So let's say we want to pin this in the top right, and we can set a little margin so that we can control how far out it is from the corner. So let's set that to 20. And I'll preview this in the browser again. And now you can see it's up on the top right and it's actually staying pinned. And a really cool thing about this system is if you find a product you like, you can just drag and drop it to the bag and it adds it to your shopping bag. So really flexible and really user-friendly. So the next area we'll look at here is our categories tabs. And again, a really simple widget. We just have the ability to input a store ID, and we can change these tabs from horizontal to vertical. And we've actually built some previews in here in Muse so that it kind of shows you an idea of how it's going to look. So that's a really simple component of it as well. And now we have kind of the primary component of this widget, which is the product browser. And this is where all of the products are actually going to show up. So again, not a huge panel on these widgets, but we just have our store ID. And next up we have the default category. Now this is just empty right now. However, what you'd want to use this for is if you wanted your store to open up and always have the downloadables category visible. You can actually input just the default category ID in there. The next options we have below are just some of the browser settings. So we can change this layout from a grid view to a list view or a table view. We can also set the number of categories per row. We can set the number of products per row and per column. So we can really change up the way that this store looks. So let's go ahead and set it to list. And then below that, in the last area here, we have how we want to display search results. So remember I mentioned that the search component of this widget actually populates the results in the product browser. So now we can just display the results in specific format. I like the list view for results. So let's preview this in the browser again and see how it looks. So when we click on a category, you can see now that all the products are actually arranged as a list. And we have all of these options for sorting them, and you can actually sign in and create an account. So it is a fantastic system, and you're not going to find anything else out there for Muse that has this level of control and this level of friendly user interface in terms of dragging and dropping products to the cart. So we highly recommend it, and our widget pack is actually going to be free. So we distributed this for Ecwid as part of a sharing program where what we did is we used our affiliate link on these open Ecwid dashboards. So this will just help us kind of track who's using our widget and also help us recoup some of the costs of developing it. But we wanted to be, open and honest about that link that we've placed there. So check out the system. It'll be available for download on MuseThemes.com as well as on the Adobe add-on space. And let us know if you have any feedback or changes that you'd like to make. But enjoy and have fun selling online. Thanks again.